still joining us or if you just logged on within the last 30 seconds to a minute. I am Megan with Synergy Sales. I'm representing NKBA today. I also have my co-host here, Ashley, from the Fixture Gallery. She is representing IDS and is actually an IDS student member as well as working at the Fixture Gallery. She's a very busy lady.
Not as busy as you, Megan.
The NKBA, I'm sure most of you guys know, we're a professional national organization in the kitchen and bath industry. The Puget Sound chapter has been here for decades. IDS, the Interior Design Society, is also a national company, or a national organization, I should say. And the Seattle chapter is brand new this year, so we're very excited to be teaming up together for this first annual virtual product showcase. Moving right along, it's after 1, so we're gonna get this going so Garrett has enough time to go over everything. Just a quick couple housekeeping items. As you guys are probably aware now, we can't see or hear you, but use your chat and Q&A. And then we do have a raffle of $150 off your next CFM order. So make sure you stay around for that, and then we'll draw that at the end of the presentation. So I wanna introduce Garrett. Garrett Anderson is the marketing director of Contract Furnishing Marts. In his 13 years with CFM, he has worked in the warehouse as a showroom sales associate and the store manager in addition to his current role. So these experiences have provided a well understanding of the flooring industry, and he is excited to share more with us today. So Garrett, welcome and take it away.
All right, thank you very much. Again, thank you for NKBA and IDS for including us today. We're excited to showcase and just show a few things that you may not be familiar with. I know this obviously has been an odd year and we haven't been out and about seeing all the latest and greatest things as much as we traditionally do. So just wanted to talk some trends that we're seeing in the flooring, cabinetry, and countertop world, and also introduce some newer materials that you may not be familiar with that you might want to incorporate in your future projects. So we'll just dive right in. Again, CFM or Contract Furnishings Mart, we are your one-stop shop for all your flooring, cabinetry, countertop needs. If you haven't been into any of our 7 Seattle area showrooms or even our 7 Seattle Portland area showrooms, or soon to be our 15th location down in Bend, we encourage you to stop by sometime. We have an amazing staff there to help you out and literally more options than you could ever need all in one place. So yeah, we really encourage you guys to just stop in, and the more time that we spend with you, hopefully the more referrals we can actually send your way. So we're a wholesale company. We only work with professionals such as yourself in the design, construction, remodeling industry, and we really value every opportunity we have to earn your business. So again, thank you for having me. We'll dive right into some of these products. We'll start with some of the pretty things that you guys all like to put together, starting with some tile from Arizona Tile, which has a beautiful new showroom up in the Seattle area. We have this Panos. And one of the trends that we're seeing all across the board, specifically in tile, is shapes. So hexagon has been popular. It looks to continue to be very popular. Now we're just seeing it in different shapes and sizes, different colors, and also different applications. So where it once was more of a wall decorative type of piece, now it's made in porcelains and larger formats that you can put on floors, walls, countertops, even some outdoor applications. The next slide is another line from Pentel, and that is the Chromatica. I don't know how to say it, but in any case, it's a beautiful line that offers some other shapes and just this more extensive color palette that I thought was really cool. Again, we are seeing people be a little bit more creative and bold with some colors, whether that be wall to wall or in smaller applications, but especially those things that you don't get a ton of. People are being a little bit more brave with the colors that they're introducing, and specifically a lot of those mineral tones. So you see some of those more neutral blues and greens mixed in here, a lot more subtle neutrals, not in your face colors, but just some nice color accents. Another line from Pentel is this large format, kind of this cement metallic type look. One of those trends that you're going to see here is just in these shapes and sizes. So we have some of the unique shapes. We also have the just large format. So here we have a 36 by 36, a 24 by 48, 18 by 36. It makes all these larger ones make this 12 by 24 that used to be kind of the standard of large format years ago look pretty tiny. And so we do still have some of those key items that you will need. 2x2s for a shower floor, 12 by 24 is where you need it, or it might be a smaller space. But the trend is definitely going to larger and larger format tiles. And they can be a little bit tricky. Some people think, you're only installing 4, 5, 6 pieces. And it shouldn't cost as much as installing a bunch of little ones. But it's the prep work that goes into making sure those are going to perform correctly is really where the money's being spent. And so you want to use those tuning systems. We stock one called Spin Doctor that's been really great. So just something to keep in mind. The larger formats are very popular. They look great. You have less grout lines, but they do come at somewhat of a cost in that they do require more prep to make sure that those don't have any lippage issues, and the final product is going to look exactly how you wanted it intended. Another trend in there, you see some of those stamped items. And so getting some design within the design and some three-dimensional texture, even some of those patterns like the two on the bottom right, those meridians, are just adding an additional layer of design. And as we see more and more of these, accent walls, you see more of those being applied. And it's not just in tile, it could be in wood, it could be in laminate and LVT even. Mostly we see it in tile, we do see it in some wallpaper, but those statement pieces in a wall to have some fun, in addition to, say, like your fireplace and some of those more traditional options. The next slide just shows a couple of those items installed. See how that large format 30 by 30 looks, how the texture piece looks on the fireplace, or that pattern piece looks as an accent wall as well. But the trend that's dominated overall for the last few years has been luxury vinyl. So luxury vinyl, LVT, LVP, I look at it as the love child between vinyl and laminate. Basically, you're taking all the benefits and waterproof and simplicity in the vinyl, but you're pairing it with a more attractive installation method, easy up, easy down, almost anybody can do it, and just more authentic visual with, say, a laminate or another type of plank. So the trend has really been in getting in these waterproof materials, so you can use it in more spaces of the house. You can use it in your rentals or in your kids' play areas, mud rooms, bathrooms, kitchens, where you have you're more susceptible to water issues. And this material can get soaking wet and it's never going to deform. It's completely waterproof. So we see more and more of the showroom has been dedicated to these LVT products. This one from Republic LVT is really cool for a couple of reasons. One, we have an exclusive partnership in the Northwest with Republic through our association with the National Floor Covering Alliance. So they have an amazing line. This is their SPC Max, which I thought was really cool because it's probably the most authentic visual to a finished tile installation in an LVT because it has those grout lines fused to the planks themselves. And so they're not going to delaminate, it's not going to come out. That is an inherent piece of that material, and so once they're all installed, it does look like a real tile installation, but it costs a lot less, it feels a lot warmer underfoot, and overall just is going to perform really more comfortably and easily. So again, we're seeing more and more of these. We love this partnership, and there's a few lines from Republic. There's just more and more LVT hitting the market. The next slide, traditionally we have more and more that are the wood plank looks that you're probably more accustomed to seeing. This one from Engineered Floors is made a little bit differently because instead of a vinyl wear layer attached to a waterproof core with a waterproof backing, this has the printed image directly onto the core itself. And so it's done a little bit differently. The main point is it's allowing a little bit more durability because you don't have that softer vinyl on top, but it's allowing for more pattern diversity as well. So fewer pattern repeats within this, and because you don't have that vinyl layer on top, you actually have a commercial AC4 rating. So something to consider, waterproof with a commercial warranty and higher variation. This might be the direction that more companies go. but it is a high definition digital print, 720 DPI versus a traditional 300 DPI. And 1 in 30 to 34 pattern repeats. So it's just progressing in the right direction as far as LVT. Years ago, we'd have an LVT and you'd see the same pattern repeat every 6 or 8 planks. And if you're like me, I would see that and that's all I could see. But now the digital technology has come a long, long way and it's just getting more and more authentic. So if you've shied away from LVT before, it might be something to reconsider now. We're even seeing it in some higher end homes because not only is it looking more authentic, but homeowners are wanting something that's really easy to clean and maintain that isn't going to cause them problems down the road. But there is still a place for laminate. I know we've talked a lot about LVT and tons of people come in, but laminate has had a resurgence here recently because they've figured out ways to make it act as waterproof as well, just like the LVT. So this Mohawk Revwood laminate line, they did a ton of research on it. They call it revolutionary wood. So that's how they got the Revwood name. But they're basically trying to combine the beauty of hardwood and that natural variation with the durability of laminate. So it's harder, more scratch resistant. Those are the real key benefits to having laminate versus any other product. And now they're making it waterproof and with fewer pattern repeats. They found that consumers can differentiate between wood and vinyl, but they don't differentiate necessarily between wood and laminate because laminate can be billed as a wood alternative since it's basically all made of wood anyway. So again, they're just kind of targeting these little niches in the consumer market and making some great strides in the laminate world with great authentic visuals and again, being inherently scratch resistant and impact resistant. Laminate may still be a great option for you. But all of these products are really just chasing after the real deal. So we have a few hardwood lines I wanted to show off. There's another one from Republic Floors that you're not going to find anywhere else here in the Northwest. And again, all these LVTs and laminates are really just digital images of what we're seeing in trends in hardwood. And hardwood, as you see on HGTV, and I'm sure in all your projects, is people want hardwoods or hard surface throughout most of the home, less carpet, and the trends in hardwood are going to be wider planks, longer planks, lower luster. And so especially in the Northwest, and not only to get the dimensional stability for those wider, longer planks, but also to handle the moisture content that we have here, most of what we see and show in our showrooms is going to be engineered flooring. And if you don't know any of the difference about that, basically you're looking at the same wood species on top. It's just what's underneath is constructed a little bit differently. And it just gives that more dimensional stability. It's also a more efficient use of wood in that species. So kind of a little bit of a green story with it too. This Mueller graph line is just kind of a snapshot of the entire 300 SKU line from Republic Floors. But I like this because it does show off some of those trends in like lighter blonde tones and neutral browns. We're not seeing as much of the gray that we saw a couple years ago. Definitely into warmer tones, but also we're seeing people that are exploring the different layouts too. So you see a herringbone pattern in the bottom image there and on the display itself. Some people are using those either in just one statement room or framed in maybe an entryway or a dining room or even in commercial applications as well. It's got a Valinge click locking system for easy installation and floating floors. Requires very minimal prep underneath as well. Another line from in hardwood flooring that's a little bit different is this Summit series from Naturally Aged. And the kind of the cool part about that is it's a European oak and ash that have been wildly popular for a while, but these are a fumed finish. And so it's really just incorporating this fuming process and adding chemicals on there that will fume and have this kind of unique reaction to the wood species. So very unique and authentic visuals. You're not looking at like kind of a plastic coating that you would traditionally see in these pre-finished hardwoods, but just allowing that natural wood to shine through in wider planks and longer boards as well.
So Garrett, before we move on to a different
Sure.
flooring type, we do have a question. Can you speak to the sound absorption qualities of LVT versus laminate versus hardwood?
So it will partly depend on, like if we're talking about hardwood, how that's installed. If it's going to be glued down, click and floating, or if it's going to be nailed, how that's adhered, because that's going to transfer sound differently. Say you staple or nail your floor to your subfloor, that's not going to give you the reflection of sound up as much as like a floating floor, which you see in laminate and LVT, but it is going to transfer sound down. So if you're on the upstairs, you're going to hear it more downstairs below. But there are some great products out there. I'd say in general, the laminate and those floating floors are going to have a little bit more of the click hollow sound. LVT is going to mute that a little bit more because it is a little bit softer of a material, can absorb that a little bit. But in general, I'd say a glue, staple, or nailed down hardwood is going to be the quietest of all of them.
And what about for like heat under the floors? Is there one better than the other, one you should stay away from?
No, you just have to look at your manufacturing specifications, because electric heat or hydro is possible in most of these scenarios. A lot of times it's not necessary though. We see most of our like electronic heat sources under tile flooring, which transfers heat differently and just gives you that cold return feel. And so tile is where you really need it. The laminate, LVT, and hardwoods are inherently a little bit warmer to the touch. But if you do want something, you just have to make sure that you're installing it within a tight parameter that stays within your manufacturer's specifications. But we're happy to look those up. It's just there's not a blanket statement that covers all of them. They're really a case by case.
Okay.
And then before we move on to carpet, we go back to tile and that beautiful hexagon. There was a mint green kind of color palette. Are you seeing mint green come back? Is that a color trend we're going to see?
You know, if you wait long enough, all trends will come back around. So I think it's a little bit early to say that. I think we're seeing more of the kind of more muted neutrals, a little bit earthier by comparison. But in the right application, I think you can make a really great statement with that. It's called Blue Clair. Very fancy name for a very pretty color.
Perfect. We'll let you get to carpets now.
Okay. So we just talked a lot about all these hard surfaces, but carpet does still have a home in your home. And the reason behind it is because really that's what's making it a home. That's what's making it soft for your family and your kids and your pets to curl up on. Or it's what you need to really define a space with an area rug. And so as we see more and more hard surface going into homes, we're seeing less and less carpet, but that's also allowing people to be more expressive and to invest in higher quality carpets as well that are going to last longer. So whereas you had to get something inexpensive because it was going on almost every square foot of the house before, now you can invest in something that you really, really want, whether that is the construction or it's the design. So here we have from Antrim this Palermo line, and this is a wool, and wool is kind of a love-hate to certain people. We love the green aspect to it, and it's a renewable resource, but sometimes it can be a little more expensive and it can be a little bit different to maintain, but it has a lot of inherent benefits that really all the petroleum-based products like your nylon and polyesters are trying to emulate. It's inherently fire resistant, it's inherently stain and soil resistant. And again, it's just a beautiful, soft, durable fiber. It lasts a long, long time. So again, one of those trends is just seeing that we can invest in something, and we're seeing more and more area rugs, and really any carpet that you can find on this planet or in our showroom, we can make into a custom area rug for your specific space. So define exactly what you want, add a border treatment. We're not stuck to a 5x7 or a 6x9 or an 8x10 anymore. We can get down to fractions of an inch and the exact color scheme and the exact edge profile, edge treatment that you want. And so that has been a real key. A lot of people, once they get all these hard surfaces into a room, they don't realize the acoustics that are so poor, and it's so harsh, and it's not as easy to live in. So some people, whether they're planning ahead or they're doing it after the fact, are certainly adding an area rug to define a space and soften up a room. We still see it more and more in bedrooms as well. So if it's not an area rug on the main, carpet is going to be used in your bedrooms more often. And people are being more bold, not just investing, but investing in really cool patterns too. So you can make bold statements like this Zeus piece from Stanton, which I am actually in the process of pricing for my own home because I like that charcoal one there. But again, it's because it's not wall to wall and it's not covering the entire house. You can make a statement, and it's not a permanent thing. If you get tired of it or something happens to it, it gets damaged, you want to move it to another room, you simply roll it up, you move it, it has a new life. So area rugs are huge. This one is nice also because it's 13 feet wide. It's got a large pattern. So consider it not just for area rugs, but also for stair runners. Super durable, and you can just be more creative and have some fun. And yes, animal prints are back. This Serengeti line from Stanton does bring that back. Again, it's really popular trend, especially because it's just used in smaller portions. And there's some more muted lines too. So, here you have a nice, darker navy blue, some mineral tones, some muted natural tones. And a lot of people are just having fun with it. If it's part of your design, or if you want to make a statement, hell, even in your walk-in closet, if you want to make that kind of your secondary she shed or she den inside, that's a place where you can have some fun and make a statement. Just put something in that you want. I think people are realizing that they're going to be in their homes longer, and they want something that reflects their own personality and style. And so they're not so much concerned with the resale value and what the next homeowner is going to think about their selections. They want to enjoy it while they're in there. And there's also just some more, I wouldn't say generic, but not some of like your high end, but just some of your everyday great bedroom carpet options. Constantly new stuff coming in, and there's new technologies coming out as well. This Dreamweaver Select is they produce this twist X construction. So traditionally you had two different fibers twisted together to make a piece of, not string, but part of that fiber, that filament. And now they've developed over years, honestly over years, a way to get three twisted together, which seems a lot easier than apparently it was. But again, there's just some unique options. We're seeing, if you're not going to make this big statement, you want to find something that's going to be easy to clean and maintain, something that's soft, and a lot of these little textures or these loop cut loops and subtle patterns have been really popular as well. So if you're not quite bold enough to get out with some crazy color or pattern, just something subtle and some texture that doesn't show a bunch of vacuum lines has been really popular as well. And some of these, like this guy with the Twist X construction, they have better warranties now too. And this warranty includes lifetime stain and pet stain, lifetime fade, 25-year soil and wear, plus a new 5-year staircase warranty. And all those are transferable too. So sometimes you're not only covering your own bases, but you're looking out for the next homeowner as well. I want to touch on cabinetry a little bit. Cabinetry is something we introduced as a kind of round out our offering to really be one-stop shop about 8 years ago. And this year we've invested in more of a leadership team. And so we have better systems and processes in place. We've always provided amazing cabinetry. Now we just have a slightly simpler process to go through. And the benefit really in the cabinetry side is that we have all different shapes and sizes. It's fully customizable, and it has a factory finish baked on there. So as far as long-term durability, these lines are second to none. And one of the cool new things this year is this task lighting that we introduced. That is another fully customizable lighting plan for your exact cabinetry layout. And so when we're actually making these designs, we can get a custom quote, just like we would for like a slab countertop, that is to run different zones, or how are you going to light this up, and how are you going to run these different color tones, puck lights versus LED strips, all this. And you can have a custom spec sheet for your exact kitchen, or you can retrofit it. So I thought this was really cool. It has a really unique remote that just clips into your wall. And again, you can run different zones. You can also run different color temperatures, which I think is really nice. So, if you're changing out all the bulbs, it feels a little bit harsh. You don't have to change out all of this. You can just change the color temperature to match the rest of your home. A couple other quick little notes before we wrap this up. We do have a couple of exciting new things at CFM in general. We do have a new website that's coming out. Should be by the end of this year. The big thing, not only is it just going to be newer, prettier, it's more functional. And this is actually going to be able to take all of our products for all hundreds of thousands of products we have in our computer database, and we'll give it to you at all hours, 24/7, 365 days a year. So you have access to all this stuff as if you were calling us up 8 to 5 throughout the week. It shows all of our products that are going to be up to date, room scenes, and it'll even allow you the option to log in with an accredited account with CFM and see pricing. So retail pricing, your actual price, just one of those conveniences, not only show you everything that's available, but also let you and your clients see all this stuff in real time too, considering all of us are spending a little bit more time at home and on screens, and we want to have this be accessible to everybody at all times. And as I mentioned earlier, we're really excited to be opening our 15th location in Bend later this year. Actually, I'll be down there tomorrow. We're just putting some displays in, and then next week we are live and going. So if you do have any projects down in the Central Oregon area, please keep us in mind, and we're just really excited about that growth. So if you have any questions, again, our stores are always open to you. We really appreciate all of our opportunities to work with you on a regular basis and help you and your clients find the exact right products for your project needs. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are constantly being introduced to new things. Our staff is constantly being trained on the latest and greatest trends from our reps. So if you haven't been by lately, I encourage you to stop by, and we look forward to seeing you.
Awesome, Garrett. So before we leave, we got a couple things we got to do first. One, I want to launch a poll because I'm actually intrigued to know, everyone on the call here, what is your favorite design trend you're seeing right now in flooring? We showed a lot of options today on what's new. So warmer neutral tones, hard surface flooring throughout the house, luxury vinyl plank for price and function, bold colors and patterns in carpets and area rugs, or large format and unique shapes and tiles. So that's a hard one to narrow down. But I'm intrigued to see what you guys are all for. And actually that Serengeti and navy, I'm surprisingly kind of loved it. Didn't think I would. Not normally an animal print girl, but I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't know. You got to get a sample home to be sure.
Exactly.
But there's no wrong answer here, but those are some of the trends that we're certainly seeing. And I'm curious to see what, from the designer point of view, what you are seeing and what your clients are requesting more and more.
Okay, last couple seconds to get your answers in. Okay, one or two more. Oh, last minute people. Okay. Oh gosh, people trickling in. Okay, we're gonna close the poll now. Hopefully you voted. Oops, wrong slide. Okay, so actually you were correct. You were on luxury vinyl plank. That is the trend we're seeing right now.
It definitely is. And and as I mentioned, for good reason too. It's easy for designers to sell it too now that it looks prettier, and the technology and those prints have come a long way. And it's so easy and reassuring for the homeowner. You know that you're giving them something that they're going to be able to clean and maintain, is going to perform and meet their expectations well.
Awesome. So before we leave, Ashley's is gonna do a raffle for us.
Right.
It's $150 off your next order at CFM. So Ashley, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. So Lisa Goner, raise your hand if you're with us.
Lisa, are you here?
You there?
Wake up, Lisa.
Oh, she raised her hand. Yep, we're good.
Yay!
All right, yeah, so
Perfect.
that's $150 off your next purchase, no matter what it is. If you want to just get some little things, if you want to go crazy, apply that to your next client's account or purchase. We can work out those details, but we'll apply that to your next purchase.
Perfect. Thank you, Garrett, and thank you, Lisa, for participating.